Johnny Clegg in the Bing Lounge. Johnny and your band, you're sounding so great. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. It's great to have you in Portland. I was thinking when you were going to be coming in here, I was reminded how music is so powerful. It can bring all kinds of messages and sort of be that vehicle to bring messages. And I wanted you to take us back a little bit. You know, you were, at least here stateside, we knew you, Johnny Clegg, with Jaluka and Savuka afterwards. And I wanted to have you take us back to Jaluka. You were in South Africa with an interracial band, and it just seems shocking to have to say that now, here in 2011, but that was politically, in the most egregious kind of way, incorrect. Can you talk a little bit about how you carried on and made music, you know, and you get arrested for that kind of stuff, you know, with apartheid in South Africa at the time?
Well, basically, we had to deal with two main regulations. One was the Group Areas Act, and the other one obviously was all the forms of censorship that existed at the time. All radio was controlled by government. There was no independent radio station, and there was religious censorship, political censorship, sexual, for any pornographic lyrics, and cultural. You were not allowed to mix language. So when we began doing what we were doing, the first period was from about 1970 till about 1977, where Sipho Mchunu and myself formed a duo called Johnny and Sipho. And in that time, really, we were playing in people's lounges, we were playing in embassies, we were playing in places with little pockets of open space. And in the streets and in the hostels, the migrant labor hostels. But, you know, at an age of 15, I was arrested in one of the hostels and taken back to my mom. And she opened the door, and I was standing between two very tall policemen. And they said to her, listen, you know, your son has broken the Group Areas Act. He's not allowed to go into there. And, you know, when he's 18, he's going to be arrested and we're going to put him in jail. So you just, tell him that he's got to tone it down.
Did she, by the way?
Yeah, she was worried. I was actually dancing. I was learning how to do war dancing, and so I had to bring the leader of the dance team and his assistants. They came to the apartment where we lived, and they had a meeting with my mom, and she was satisfied that they would look after me. So then I was arrested again, and then I went on, and then she said, in the end, just carry money on you so you can pay your fine. Stop calling me.
That's a great mum to have.
Yeah. So, really, as a young person, I had grown up in Zimbabwe, Zambia, and South Africa. So I wasn't really. I knew that each country had its own set of rules and regulations. Zambia was totally free, non-racial. I went to a non-racial school. There were more black kids than white kids, more black teachers. Between the age of 9 and 11, and then went back to South Africa, it was all white again. So, it was slightly destabilizing, but I kind of thought, well, that's what they do here. What they did there is what they did there, and what they do here is they do. And as a kid, I just found holes in the fences and carried on doing what I was doing. It's only when I got to university that I started asking questions, why is there a fence? Why are we separated? And I got involved in the trade union movement and got arrested for that and all that kind of stuff. But essentially from the musical side, what kept us going more than anything was that we knew we were making a new music. There was a huge excitement about that. We knew that we were mixing things that had never been mixed before. We were crossing bridges that had never been crossed. We'd actually made bridges to cross over. And we knew we were like on some cutting edge of something. I estimate about between 20 and 30% of our shows were closed by police in the urban areas every year. But we used to play mainly in the beginning in the rural townships where there was not very much monitoring. So there were always gaps in places that you could find, and I think most of our time was finding those open spaces where we could perform. And then we found a loophole in the law which said you couldn't play in public as a mixed band, but if it was a privately owned space, you could get away with it. So we started to play in churches, we started playing school halls, we started playing, and so that's how. And it wasn't only us; it was other bands. I mean, we were not sort of road openers. We were watching where other bands were playing and how they were doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm thinking that when you're at the age you are, really nothing can hold you back. It's like the revolution of the young, you know. Yeah. For us here stateside, Scatterlings of Africa in '82, this is like your 30-year anniversary for Jaluka.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. It was such an incredibly important song for all of us to hear. And I know that Kink was playing it all the time, and it was, then there was the Paul Simon,
Yes.
the Rhythm of the Saints, and it was all happening during the '80s. Like, that was such an ambassador, Johnny. I wonder, and I really credit you for putting South Africa on the map in that sense, being the ambassador that you are. What is the message for you now? I mean, I was listening to your sound check, and you can't sit still to this music. So there's that. But in terms of your passion right now, the political and the musical, what is it that's driving you now?
Personal and the political. Obviously, I have a lot to look back on. So the new album, which is called Human, has got a lot of personal memoirs. Some of them are musical memoirs. Some of them are, there's a song that I learned when I was 16, a dance song, a war dance song, and it's a choral piece. And I have such strong memories of it that I decided just to record it for posterity. But it's a marker in my life. So there's a lot of sort of backward reflection. That's where I came from. That's the music that I was making or dancing to when I was 16 in the tribal traditional world. Then there's obviously songs about issues that I saw from time to time during the recording of the album. Gaza, the Gaza war. The Congo, Congo is like a conflict that it's mind-boggling that the media haven't picked up that over the past 15 years, 10 million people have been killed in the Congo, and the Eastern Congo is it's a place where you have these wild militias just going around and pillaging and raping and looting, and it's basically because that is the most resourceful area on the African continent. It's got every rare metal. It's got titanium. It's got diamonds, gold. It's got everything that you want. So all the surrounding countries have been arming up their proxies and going in there and trying to stake a claim. So there's a song about that. There's a song about South Africa going, where are we now in our transformation, called Asilazi, and there's a song dedicated to Edward Kennedy, actually, on the song called Hidden Away Down. He came to South Africa in 1985 and gave a lecture at the university, and it changed my life, actually. He was he said that South Africa has been portrayed as having this exceptional, special case of racism because of its the fact that it's been legislated in the Constitution. No country in the world has ever legislated, racial separation. He says, but actually it's not. It's part of a bigger battle around the world, a global battle. And he talked about the Indian caste system. He talked about women's rights, the civil rights movement, and many, many different things. And we as activists at that time, we were in our little tunnel, and we suddenly felt part of this major global movement. It was quite emancipating. So there's a song there, dedicated to him. And then there's a bunch of I suppose, what I do, which is I'm a crossover musician. I'm influenced by different musical traditions, Rai music, Indian music, Latin or whatever. And I find a way to bring them together.
I think that you'll continue to have some kind of a message, but a lot of it is just joy. So
yeah, sure.
I really appreciate that. And a touchstone is, as I said, Scatterlings. So I wonder if we could get back to your beautiful music and get that song. Thank you, Johnny Clegg.
Thank you. hum, ho hum, yeah, oh yeah, hum, ho. Copper sun sinking low, scatterlings and fugitives, hooded eyes and weary brow, seek refuge in the night. They are the scatterlings of Africa, each uprooted one, on that road to Pelamanga, where the world began. I love the scatterlings of Africa, each and every one. In their hearts a burning hunger, beneath the copper sun. Yum oh hum, yum hum oh hum, yum oh hum, yum hum oh hum, yum oh hum, yum hum oh hum, yum oh hum, yum hum oh. Ancient bones from old divide, echoes of the very first cry. Who made me hair and white beneath the copper sun? African idea, African idea, make the future clear, make the future clear. And we are scatterlings of Africa, both you and I. We run that road to Pelamanga, beneath the copper sky. And we are scatterlings of Africa, on a journey to the stars. Far below we live forever, dreams of what we were. Oh hum, yeah hum, oh hum, yeah oh hum, yeah hum, oh, yeah oh hum, yeah hum, oh, yeah oh hum, yum 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 yum. Scatterlings of Africa, Africans of Africa, scatterlings of Africa. Ah, yele mama, ah, yele mama. Right, this is a cruel, crazy, beautiful world. You got to wash with the crocodile in the river. You got to swim with the sharks in the sea. You gotta live with the crooked politicians. Trust those things that you can never see. Aye, yeah, yeah, Chesimpana. Aye, yeah, yeah. Aye, yeah, yeah, Chesimpana. Aye, yeah, yeah. You got to trust your lover when you go away. Keep on believing tomorrow brings a better day. Sometimes smile while you cry inside. Maybe once you walk away when the truth is shining bright. Ah yeah, yeah, chasing fun. Ah yeah, yeah. Ah yeah, yeah, chasing fun. Ah yeah, yeah. 'Cause it's a cruel, crazy, beautiful world. Every day you wake up, I hope it's under a blue sky. Oh, it's a cruel, crazy, beautiful world. One day when you wake up, I'll have to say goodbye. It's your world, so I say goodbye. It's your world, so live in it. Beyond the door, strange, cool, beautiful, yeah. I'm waiting for you. I want you to know you won't escape loneliness. Maybe you lose hope too. Ah yeah, yeah, chasing fun. Ah yeah, yeah. Ah yeah, yeah, chasing fun. Ah yeah, yeah. 'Cause it's a cruel, crazy, beautiful world. Every day you wake up, I hope it's under a blue sky. It's a cruel, crazy, beautiful world. One day when you wake up, I will have to say goodbye. It's your world, so live it. It's your world, so live it. When I hold your small body close to mine, you know I feel weak and strong at the same time. Some few years to give you wings to fly, show you stars to guide you ship by. It's your world, so live it. It's your world, so live in it. It's your world, so come on, come on, come on. It's your world, so live in it. It's your world, so live in it. Hola! It's your world, so live in it. It's your world, so live in it. Oh, it's your world, so live in it. 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 It's your world, so live in it.
Johnny Clegg
Thank you.
in the Bing Lounge.
Thank you very much. I lie here in the dark on my own. I see the stars, they make me smile, 'cause they're so far, and I feel I can touch them. I know you like the stars are so far. You make me cry as I lie here, 'cause I know I am like a soul that was on fire. I saw the glow and the crowd did cheer, and the king was smiling. All I got is you, babe. All I got is you, babe. Take my fortress with a kiss. Shoot your arrow, never miss. Any dream will do, babe, as long as it's with you, babe. Helter skelter in the swelter, through the dark night, give me shelter. All I got is you, babe. All I got is you, baby. All I got is you, babe. All I got is you, baby. 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 All I got is you, baby.
This may be a good time to introduce your band.
Sure. We are now 7. We are 8 on stage. I'm a percussionist and our percussionist and we're 6. Okay. Our percussionist and dancer is at the gig setting up. From Cape Town on saxophone and on stage on keyboards, Dan Shout. Our drummer from Cape Town as well, Barry Van Sale. On bass guitar from Durban, Trevor Dongini. Our musical director, Andy Innes. And the fabulous Mandisa Langa. Strange behavior, and every man has to be his own savior. I know I can make it on my own if I try, but I'm searching for a great heart to stand me by underneath this African sky. A great heart to stand me by. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart to hold and keep me by. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart under African sky. Sometimes I feel that you really know me. Sometimes there's so much you can show me. There's a highway of stars across the heaven, whispering song of the wind in the grass. There's a rolling thunder across the savannah, A hope and a dream at the edge of that sky. And your life is a story like the wind. Your life is a story like the wind. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart to hold and keep me by. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart under African sky. Sometimes I feel that you really know me. Sometimes there's so much you can show me. Oh, lo, lo, ma.